That's right, if you have a Chromebook or a low power machine or even an iPad, you can deploy your own VS Code server and work in the cloud. Now you might be asking, why? Microsoft and GitHub already have their own cloud editors that are based on VS Code. Why wouldn't I set my own? Well, here's the thing. First of all, you own everything. If you're going to be editing, if you're going to be coding, you're probably going to have some really sensitive files. For example, you might have some client files. Maybe you have some, like a client secret, client ID, stuff that you wouldn't want to expose to the wider web. Well, if you deploy your own server, you still have all that data to yourself. And also, you get a terminal. Like, I feel like that's just a deal breaker for most people. If you don't have a terminal, how are you supposed to do most of your work in most programming languages? The programming language I can think off the top of my head that does not require a terminal is HTML and CSS. However, you can argue that those aren't programming languages. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can deploy your own VS Code server to a cloud provider called Heroku. Let's get started. Before such a tutorial, you are going to need to create a free Heroku account. I will leave a link in the description to create one. Now, there is one caveat. We are using Heroku to deploy, which in and of itself is owned by Salesforce, which is a big tech company, or big security company. I don't know what you would call Salesforce. But, well, yes, we are hosting this on Heroku. I can still kind of justify hosting your files on there, just because, well, yeah, it has a terminal, and your files probably won't get randomly deleted. However, I have heard that Heroku has an M for the file system, which just means that Heroku can refresh the file structure, basically reverting it back to the way it was when you deployed. So I'm not sure if your files will get erased if you work on them. And while you're working, I just recommend saving your files to your computer just as a backup. So now I'm going to show you how you can deploy Code Server. So you want to go to the Code Server repository. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm going to scroll all the way down here. You can see it's literally just VS Code. I'll scroll down a bit more, and you can see we'll have 3 ways to get started. You can use the install script, manually install it, or use one-click buttons to deploy it. We're going to deploy it to a cloud provider. So we're going to click the third option. We're going to scroll all the way down here, and we're going to use Heroku. There are a bunch more that you can use, and there are a few guides. There are guides that you can use if you'd like to deploy them, but for this tutorial, I'm going to be using Heroku. Click See Guide, and this will basically just give you all the instructions you need to set it up. What we're going to do is click on the Deploy to Heroku button. It's going to take us here, and I'll give it an app name. I'm going to name mine Code Server TS10. See if that's available. This get repo config variable will essentially it'll clone a GitHub repository or a Git repository rather. So for example, let me go back here. If you wanted to, for example, clone this for whatever reason, you want to clone coder/deploy code server, then what you would do is you will take this link and paste it right in the config variable. Yes, we paste the link right there. So I'm just gonna add code server TS10. Oof, sorry there. And now password. This is going to be a password that you use to log in. So when you first open Code Server, it's going to ask you for a password. And if you don't set the password, you're essentially locked out. So I'm just going to pick a rather insecure password. haha, yeet 123. I'm gonna delete this anyways. So I'm gonna click deploy app. Now this is going to take a while to deploy. So while you're waiting, maybe just I don't know, grab some water and wait. Finally, after about 4 minutes, the app has finally finished deploying. I'm not joking, those were the longest 4 minutes of my life. So now we can click view, and it will be brought to the screen. You see, we're going to need to enter the password we had. So, haha underscore yeet 123, and then submit. This will log us in, and bam! We now just have VS Code. Yeah, so this is literally just normal VS Code. You see, we have the extensions panel where we can install a multitude of different extensions. So just dismiss that. We can install the Python extension, the Prettier extension, you know, just all these languages that you would use on a daily basis. Now, there is one thing that you can't actually configure on this application. So if I go back to the GitHub repository, all the way down here, deploy to service cloud provider, Heroku. We can also see that we can configure, the environment. So down here, you can see that you can install Node.js. I will leave a link to this down below in the description. But yeah, if you follow these instructions, I'm not going to show this in the video, but if you follow these instructions, you can install whatever. You can install Python and everything. Forgot to mention, this also gives you access to the terminal. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.